Hi, welcome to Sage Blue Tarot. Today is June 9th, 2021, and I'm going to start the collective reading using tarot. Thank you for being here, and let's get started. What does collective need to know today? What does collective need to know today? So I'm sensing this stillness. We are about to have a new moon and solar eclipse. So I'm kind of sensing this almost like a heavy pause. I feel like this is a good time to remove anything that you no longer want in your life. Maybe just write it down, make a ritual, set it on fire. Just really be intentional about what you no longer want into your life. I feel like this has been shown to you recently and you've kind of noticed it and you've already probably thought about it. And I feel like right now is a good time to make some concrete rituals in order to make space for the manifesting that you can make during this new moon. This is the perfect time to plant the seeds that you wish to see grow. What does collective need to know at this time? We have the Five of Cups reversed, so I'm seeing that maybe you're moving on from painful emotions and things that you've lost. I feel like maybe you're starting to see that maybe things had to happen for a reason. Things had to happen a certain way in order for you to become who you're meant to be, in order for things to flow as they are. And I'm kind of sensing that maybe before you had been holding on to something because loss isn't comfortable, right? Change isn't comfortable. And we have certain hopes in certain cups, and then when those cups spill over, we're kind of like, wait, but my cups, like I had my hopes in there, like I had certain things that I wanted. But I feel like we're starting to see how we can focus on the cups that are left behind, how we can focus on what we want to build. I'm seeing the Three of Swords reversed. So this to me is a heartbreak card. Because it's reversed, I'm seeing that you're starting to, even if you have pain in your heart or you're tending to some sort of grief or just ache, right? This kind of like a heartache, like maybe a breakup or a shift. Just, I'm sensing that you're starting to see how you can continue to live your life even though you might have this kind of uneasy and tense and heavy feeling in your heart right now. I'm seeing the Page of Cups upright. So right now is a good time to tend to yourself, to be kind to yourself. Give yourself that which inspires you, right? It's like that inner child card. Just kind of give yourself what makes you happy. Bust out a coloring book, start painting, start singing, start dancing. I feel like reconnecting with that part of ourselves really is going to help us nurture ourselves through this Three of Swords energy, through this Five of Cups energy. On the back, I'm seeing the Four of Wands upright. So this to me is about the goal, the vision, the friendships, the abundance, the memories, everything wonderful that is coming towards you that you're running towards as well. So I feel like that is the gift of this time, and you're starting to see it, that things had to happen a certain way in order for you to run to where you're going, right? So I feel like as long as you tend to yourself and as long as you feed that inner child and remember to have fun, remember to, I'm seeing a lot of curiosity, like be curious about your life, be curious about this next stage, be curious about who you're becoming. And I feel like maybe that's why it's so hard right now, why you're having like this heartache and this kind of like thing that you're getting over, this grief that you're getting over and leaving behind, is because, well, it needed to happen in order to have space in order for this newness to come in, but also because maybe you are feeling some kind of nostalgia about it, right? Maybe some kind of nostalgia about who you've been and what you're leaving behind, and about the projects that you started and you didn't finish. And I feel like there's this kind of sense of then and now, and like what is to be. But I feel like as long as you nurture yourself, as long as you care for yourself, as long as you're tender with yourself, you're going to get to this Four of Wands energy. You're going to get to these visions that you've been having for a while, for these wishes that you've been having for a while, for all that you've been working towards. On the back, I'm seeing the Five of Wands reversed. With this, I'm seeing that you're starting to let go of any conflicts that are in your heart, let go of anything that's going on in your relationships, in your mind, anything that pretty much has felt major, but that you've realized is not. I feel like a lot of things can come up and emotion can make us feel like, oh, this is important. This is something that I'm going to allow my resources to focus on. But I feel like because it's reversed, starting to see it for what it is, right? Like it's something that you can overcome. It's something that doesn't have to stay with you for this long, right? I feel like that's tied to that Three of Swords reversed and that Five of Cups reversed. You're starting to kind of see, well, how can I move past this conflict? How can I learn from this chaos? What lessons are there? And I feel like it's going to come back to your strength, right? To that purity that's within you, to the ability to negotiate and navigate these waters right now. I feel like there's a lot of promise of what's coming up, of what's going to happen. Thank you to this deck. And now I'm going to pull from the Angelarium Oracle of Emanations deck, asking, what does collective need to know today? What does collective need to know today? Yeah, I'm getting a lot of wait and see messages, right? So I feel like that's tied to that feeling you get, when something doesn't go your way or you get a surprise you didn't want. Just wait and see how this turns out, right? I feel like sometimes we can jump to conclusions when the conclusion's like, we don't know what's going to happen, right? So just wait and see. I'm seeing a lot of be patient. Be patient for what is to come. So the Phanuel Angel of Truth card just came out. So I'm saying wait and see for the truth to reveal itself, right? Sometimes we can feel that we know what's going to happen because our emotions are telling us, because we thought of it, and because pretty much everything in our body is saying that things are a certain way. But just wait and see. Trust in what is going to come and know that no matter how things look right now, it's all about being patient. It's all about feeding that inner child and being as present as you can be, right? Because things are being revealed to us, but not right away, right? It's going to be shown to us. I'm seeing Remph, Angel of Time. So these things take time, right? And I'm seeing that a lot of changes are happening. There's this evolution of yourself going on right now. And there is this beauty in waiting to see what happens, right? Just being patient and allowing for time to do its thing. And meanwhile, we are growing this trust in time, growing this trust and faith and potential of what is to come, of what can happen, of what gifts are here through this change, through these shifts. Hasmed, Angel of Annihilation. So because it is a solar eclipse, I'm seeing that this is the perfect time to get rid of that which doesn't serve you. Habits, ideas. I feel like maybe you've been struggling with something recently and you're kind of dwelling on it and you kind of don't want to let it go when really you should, right? But there's this sense of being comfortable with being uncomfortable. So it's kind of like a safety, right? Like a false sense of safety and I should hold on to this, right? Because this is who I am. But I feel like Hasmed is here to show you no, get rid of that. That's not who you are. Who you are is that Page of Cups within. Who you are is that soft, tender innocence, that light within you. And I feel like maybe you've become accustomed to this costume that you've been wearing, right? These maybe mental complexities, these thought patterns, these habits, these pretty much toxic behaviors that we've been carrying along for our whole lives or for a majority of time, and that we've grown comfortable doing, but that recently we've been shown like, hey, this isn't working for me. Oh, I'm wasting a lot of time, resources, energy, and attention on this. Like, oh, like I don't feel good after doing this. And right now you're being supported to surrender this to that eclipse, to just get rid of that which you don't want, right? In order to make space to manifest what you do want, right? You can't really grow things where there is no room to grow. So go ahead and just remove everything. Take the time to just pluck all that up, take it out of here, and make space in order for this newness to come in, right? Because I feel like you have a lot of big dreams right now, but I'm also sensing that you want to be your old self while also still having these dreams that you want. But that's not possible, right? Time and truth don't work like that, right? Like you can't really live your new life while being your old self. And I feel like that's where we're at right now. We need to surrender these parts of ourselves in order to step into our evolution more fully. And we're being supported at this time, right? And I feel like you've been asking for the truth for a while. You've been asking to manifest that Four of Wands energy for friendship and memories and amazing times and awesome experiences. And I feel like that is what's happening for you, but you just gotta put a little effort in that way of actualizing surrender, right? Stepping into that surrender. Zukloff, Angel of Urgency is on the back. To me, this card is about grounding. Go be outside. Go spend some time in nature. Tend to your houseplants if you have any. Play with your pets if you have any. Just go outside and notice how life is thriving around you, right? Right now is springtime. We're about to step into summer pretty soon. And I feel like there is a lot of life around you, right? And I feel like it's important to take notice of that, because that is pretty much what we're doing too, right? Zukloff is here to remind you like, hey, you're growing also, and your dreams are growing. It's just about planting the seeds and then nurturing them, right? And with all that we're letting go of, we have the time, energy, attention, the resources to cultivate all that we are planting, right? To put the attention and loving energy into growing this. So I'm going to thank this deck. Thank you. And now I'm going to pull from the Trust Your Vibes Oracle deck. Ooh, I'm getting the message of listen to your crown chakra, listen to your heart chakra at this time. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of meditate. Like take some time to really meditate and get to know who you are, right? I feel like you've been getting glimpses about who you are for some time now. Like that voice within you has been getting louder, but I feel like maybe you haven't been sitting down with it. Like have a conversation with yourself. I feel like that's important right now, especially when you're trying to figure out who you're going to be, what your evolution is, why these changes are happening the way they're happening. So the answers are within you. What does collective need to know? What does collective need to know? Yeah, I definitely recommend grounding, especially with Zukloff coming out and the solar eclipse happening and the new moon. I feel like it's important to just put our bare feet on Mother Earth in order to establish and fortify that connection that we inherently have, right? But when we set that intention and we do it mindfully, we can, I feel like we can rest and rejuvenate and feel a sense of peace and connectedness, right? And I feel like through all these changes, they can be kind of scary sometimes, right? We're like, wait, I don't know if what's going on, right? But I feel like when we ground, we remember how connected we are, right? When we take notice of the trees around us, we can, I feel like, think about our lifetime and what we want to do while we're here, and about how long these trees live, what the birds around us are doing, how long they live, like what's underneath the ground that you can't even see that's living down there, right? I feel like spending time in nature can really spur this thought process about yourself and your life and what you're doing here and what your next evolution step is going to be and how to brace for it, right? I feel like centering yourself and being calm and peaceful is going to really help you through this change. Time for crayons. So that reminds me of the Page of Cups energy. Color, right? Do fun things that you know you love to do, because when you do that, you start to tap into these higher frequencies. You start to get more insight, more stability. You start to believe in yourself, right? You start to see like, oh, like I've come really far. Like I've been through a lot. So I can handle whatever's going to happen. Whatever's going to happen is what is meant to happen. It is part of the evolution that I asked for. This is what I've been dreaming of. And I can handle this, and I can do this. And I feel like just taking some time to really play is going to be really good for your growth right now. Get a new story. This is a perfect card for the eclipse and new moon. Get rid of any stagnant stories, right? Replay the story in your own mind that you share with others the first time you meet, right? Tune into what you say to them, to these strangers that are about to be friends, what you share with them, what you let them know about your life, and then pay attention to what you're actually sharing, right? Are you sharing inspiring stories about your life, or are you only sharing the negative things that have happened to you? Like, what spin are you putting on your life, right? You have a whole life that you've lived already, and what are you sharing with others, right? I feel like you could share the tough times and really kind of dump that on them, or you could spin it and say, oh, like I have learned this, or I'm good at this, I've acquired this skill set, right? I feel like right now is a perfect time to reformat, reshape, just completely shift the stories that you share with other people, because the stories that you share about yourself with others is revealing to others about the relationship that you have with yourself, right? And I feel like if you're forming a connection with somebody, it's important to form a strong connection about your authentic self, right? And I feel like tune into yourself in order to be able to tune in with others, right? About yourself and who you are. And so that I feel like when you do that, that really inspires them to rewrite their own story, right? Even without you directly telling them like, oh, I've been getting a new story. I used to tell this one, and now I'm going to tell this one. I feel like whenever you authentically share with others this story about your life in a more positive way, in a more empowering way, right? Because you've been through a lot. Like, you've already done so much. And I feel like you should honor yourself, right? Stop beating yourself up and stop telling others that you're not all that. Like, you are all that. You totally are. And others deserve to see your shine. Because when you share your shine with them, they get permission to share their shine with you and with others and with themselves too. It'll start for them, it'll start to stimulate questions to them about like, oh, like what have I been through also? And like, what have I learned? Woo-woo is wonderful. So this card is about your psychic abilities, the energies, the vibes. Trust your vibes, right? Trust what you feel. Trust your gut. And just weed away from this ego-based thinking. Just tune into yourself. Take some time for playtime in order to tune into yourself. And I feel like the more you do this, the more you can connect to your heart. The more you can connect to your mind in a healthy way, right? I feel like we've been working on reformatting, reshaping this relationship with our mind recently. And we're finding a balance between our mind and our heart now, because we're honoring our heart so much more. On the back, I'm seeing the Exercise Your Vibes card. So definitely get out in some nature and run around or go for a walk or do some jumping jacks or play jump rope. Just be active in some way, right? I feel like reconnecting to our bodies is important at this time, especially since we're going through so many shifts, so many changes, and we're eclipsing out things and we're making space for newness and we're manifesting new things. Connect to your body. Your body is your ride during this time on earth, so honor it. Give it a good workout. Do some yoga. Just do something that makes you feel good. Work up a sweat, right? I feel like when we can work up a sweat, we start to feel alive. We start to feel here, right now, vividly. So go ahead and tune into yourself. Thank you to this deck, and thank you for showing up today. I will see you next time. Bye. Hi, so now we're going to go ahead and move into the distance Reiki portion of the episode. I suggest laying or sitting in a comfortable position, but that is not necessary. Just be open to receiving Reiki healing energy. I suggest setting your own intention for the Reiki or just allowing my intention to take place, which is always for your highest good. I'm going to go ahead and take 3 deep breaths with you. Let's go ahead and inhale, hold, and exhale. Again, inhale, hold, and exhale. And inhale, hold, and exhale. I will now begin sending Reiki. When you are ready, start to come back into your body and open your eyes. Welcome back. Thank you so much for showing up today. And I suggest drinking water since a lot of energy is moved during Reiki sessions. And I will see you in our next episode. Thank you, and